China won the $500 billion high-speed rail deal in the UK. The US repeatedly blocked but failed. Why did the UK choose China? Let's find out more in this video. After years of development, China's high-speed rail has long become a business card of China's infrastructure and enjoys a good reputation at home and abroad. There are many foreigners who come to China specifically just to experience the legendary Chinese speed. This has also allowed China's high-speed rail companies to receive a lot of high-speed rail orders. Recently, China and the United Kingdom reached another cooperation agreement worth £56 billion of high-speed rail construction projects, which is nearly 500 billion yuan. It should be known that the UK's choice to cooperate with China this time is also to recognize China's infrastructure technology. After all, there are not many countries that can match China's infrastructure technology. China's reputation as an infrastructure fiend is not misplaced. You know, Britain has always been close to the United States. When the UK had the intention to cooperate with China, the US came forward to prevent the UK many times, and has been exerting pressure on the UK in order to prevent the UK from using China's high-speed rail. In the end, Britain simply ignored the United States and chose China. Why did Britain, which had always followed the US in the past, suddenly turn against the US? What the hell happened in between? The Line 2 high-speed rail project is the largest investment project in the UK in recent years. Although the line is called Line 2, it is the first high-speed line to connect a major city in the UK. The 550 kilometers long line, which will connect cities such as London and Birmingham with speeds of up to 400 kilometers per hour on some sections, holds the title of the biggest infrastructure project in the UK and possibly Europe. It is precisely because the project is so huge that the United Kingdom believes that there is no way to successfully complete it by itself, so it thought of putting the project to global tender. Faced with this huge project, other countries want to get a piece of the pie, and China is certainly no exception. And that includes Japan, which also has advanced high-speed rail construction technology. But Britain was quick to exclude Japan, a move that left the Japanese somewhat incredulous. After all, Japan has visited Britain 3 times, but in the end it did not change Britain's mind. The Japanese did not understand why Britain chose China in the end. In fact, the UK did this because the first high-speed rail line in the UK was built by Japan, but it broke down on the first day of operation. This train has serious quality problems. During the journey of the car, air conditioning actually appeared serious water leakage. The quality of the newly built high-speed rail has such problems, which makes the British people laugh and cry. That is why Britain has excluded Japan from the competition. The achievements of China's high-speed rail are obvious to all in the world. China's high-speed rail has become a heavyweight business card. The total mileage of China's high-speed rail has occupied 60% of the world. The UK originally had only one high-speed rail line, called HS1. With the development of the economy, the past railway has become old and inconvenient, and there is a growing call for another high-speed rail in the UK. After several rounds of competition, the UK decided to award the second high-speed rail project, which plays an important role in domestic transport, to China after a number of bidders. Many people should have doubts. The UK, once the empire on which the sun never sets, how can it not be able to build high-speed rail and still need to tender? There are many reasons why Britain could not do it alone. After the completion of the first high-speed railway in the United Kingdom, the original intention was indeed to build a second high-speed railway by itself. But because the second high-speed rail link is all the major cities in the United Kingdom, and if they want to build high-speed rail in the middle of these cities, the geographical environment is very complex and diverse. British engineers simply do not have the ability to solve these problems. Another point is that Britain, as a Western country, advocates freedom in belief. So most of its citizens are relatively loose and lazy in work, the construction efficiency is extremely low, and the management is chaotic, so the progress is very slow. As time dragged on, the cost of high-speed rail construction began to rise and rise. The project was originally planned to start in 2010 at a cost of £36 billion, but has never been built. After 5 years of delay, the 2015 budget has risen to £56.6 billion, that is, more than 500 billion yuan. A big part of the reason why the budget has ballooned so much is because a big part of the cost of construction is demolition or archaeology. In Britain, demolition of many buildings will compensate for extremely high costs, and environmental protection and construction labor costs are also very expensive. The budget for this project is only going to get higher and higher. So far, the cost of building 1 kilometer of the project has reached 900 million yuan. The cost of building a kilometer of high-speed rail in China is less than 300 million yuan, which is basically 3 times the price. In contrast, if the UK continues to choose independent construction, the time will be longer and longer, and the budget will only be higher and higher. So it is only right that Britain should look elsewhere to build. China's high-speed rail has always been safe, comfortable, fast characteristics, and cheap. Cost-effective is also higher, so it has attracted attention in the world. Many countries are very interested in China's high-speed rail technology, and the UK is naturally no exception. The UK also wants to learn from the Chinese experience and technology in high-speed rail construction. But it was when Britain decided to cooperate with China that the United States began to get restless. Britain was eager to get China's help on its second high-speed rail line. Therefore, the United States, which always wants to fan the flames, would not sit idly by when it sees this situation. The United States can be said to be an infrastructure power, but it has never been able to match China in the field of high-speed rail construction. In order to block this order between China and Britain, the United States has racked its brains to prevent the cooperation between China and Britain. However, the United Kingdom did not take up the suit of the United States at this time, but was determined to cooperate with China. The United States spent a lot of time, but in the end, it can only return in vain watching China win this huge order. America has its own internal reasons for doing so. The United States has always been eyeing China. They do not want to see China develop. This time, the infrastructure cooperation between China and Britain has made the United States feel threatened to a certain extent. The United States believes that if China and Britain continue to cooperate, then the relationship between China and Britain will be closer, which is undoubtedly a huge hidden danger for the United States. That's why they want to disrupt the relationship between China and Britain. In the end, the United States has wasted a lot of trouble and gained nothing at all. In fact, even if the United States had been successful, it would have been meaningless, because in the face of such a complicated terrain along the Second British Railway, only China could undertake the project. The United States did not have this ability at the time, and even if they undertook this project, they would not get the recognition of the British people, and then they would still shoot themselves in the foot. The current high-speed rail line in the UK is expected to be completed in 2033. After the completion of this railway, it will greatly facilitate the travel of British citizens along the way. Not only that, the railway will pass through some 350 animal habitats, 67 ancient woodlands, 30 rivers and many scenic areas, which are very beautiful. For foreign tourists, just sightseeing on the highway is a straight ticket price. As the so-called quality is the absolute truth, China's outstanding technology in the field of high-speed rail has also severely let the United States hit its own face. Therefore, China's achievements in the field of infrastructure construction can not only stimulate domestic economic growth, but also improve international influence and reputation, thereby improving China's international status and establishing a good image for China in other countries, which is a good thing for the benefit of the country and the people. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.